Espresso, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the weekly run, let's get it. The weekly run from Jeff's Bagel Run.
Welcome to the Weekly Run. I'm Jeff.
I'm Glen.
And this is what's hot at Jeff's Bagel Run this week. And once again, a guest host is in the seat next to me because Aaron's out. Shocking.
Here I am.
Welcome to the pod, Glen. I should say welcome back.
Yeah, this is my second time in probably, 2 months?
We talked coffee last time, and you and I always talked about having a podcast, and then
We did.
picked Aaron.
That's all right. Aaron, between you and I, at least I listen to the podcast, but, that's okay. We'll let Aaron catch up.
At this point, I'm just interviewing new co-hosts, so.
So this is an interview. This is an interview. All right.
Abby did really well. Abby did really well last week. And this morning, Danielle's like, hey, I listened to that episode with Abby. And she's like, I want a guest spot. So Danielle wants in. Before you know it, let's have a rotating seat of guest host. It'll be fun.
They say when you start your podcast, it's not going to be the same, a year or two from then. So maybe you're just evolving, Jeff.
Well, I think that's the reality is this show is definitely nothing but it was when we started 6 months ago. So it's ongoing, perpetually telling the story of what's happening at Jeff's Bagel Run, which is kind of fun. It
is fun.
I mean, even just in the last couple of months since you've been on the podcast, you were talking all coffee nerd stuff, and then now you're like deep in supply chain.
Yeah, I definitely learning a lot in supply chain. As you know, I was always sourcing coffee for us and sourcing other things that we use regularly at the Bagel Run, but this is like full on, like dozen boxes, cups, a lot of learnings happening right now, but it's really fun.
You're learning overseas logistics. You're learning vendor relationships. You're learning about material weight. You're the amount of things that are flowing into your brain right now about supply chain. It's got to be too much.
Dude, how many pallets fit on a truck? How many boxes fit on a pallet? It's a science for sure.
Cube space becomes your best friend. You also just came back from a recent was a food innovation show, I guess.
Yeah. So it's called IFT, and I went there to meet a bunch of vendors that we work with. I met with salt companies, malt companies, all kinds of different companies that supply things to other businesses. And there was also a lot of science and a lot of innovation happening in the space of food that I was really unaware of. And it's just a fascinating space. It's a very fascinating space.
What do you think was the most interesting thing you saw while you were at the show?
So without diving in too deep, but just think of milk or dairy products without the cow. So these companies have, I know it sounds crazy, but they're basically, it's called precision fermentation, and they are creating milk without the cow. They're creating the protein to create a milk that has the dairy, has the same protein. DNA wise, it's the exact same thing, but it's not from a cow. So my brain just started moving of like, how can we optimize this for coffee drinks, right? What if we had a special precision fermented milk for hot drinks versus ice drinks, and then cream cheese also came into my mind. So it was the floodgates have opened. I'll just tell you that.
That's insane. So did they classify it as like an alternative milk? How is it? Because I think of like soy milk, almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk. I mean, there's all these milks, but that aren't really milk.
This is a whole nother genre of milk. It's vegan friendly because it is obviously not harmful to animals, but it still has the allergy aspects of dairy products. So it's kind of like, it's just its own space. And then, furthermore, past that, there's cultured meat products, which are the same kind of idea, but like steaks. I know you like steak. I saw your picture from this weekend. So it is, I could talk about it for hours about how much I don't know about it, but I'm learning as we go.
I know there was a period of time, maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, where the idea of like lab grown meats was really popular. People were creating steaks that were very similar to
Yep.
real meat, but it wasn't real meat. It was lab grown. I guess that's the kind of the idea of like a fermented milk with the same kind of the same DNA as real milk, but it's wild. I mean, I know we're closer and closer to like pushing a button on a machine and food coming out.
It's
I'm here for
coming.
that.
And I think there was a big wave like 5 years ago, and a lot of money went into it, and then a lot of money was not made because I think it was a little too early from what I'm reading. But right now it's kind of like the dip has happened, and now there's like a resurgence. So we'll see. We'll see if this is the time when we start eating steaks grown from a lab and not grown in a field.
I got some video from you while you were at the show because you were just having too much fun learning about new things and you couldn't contain yourself. And you sent me this little mini mixer that essentially took a full-blown gummy bear and just liquefied it. I didn't know how it happened. It was wild.
When I say I really did not know what I was getting into every time I turned down a new aisle, it was fascinating. And just so everyone's clear, this was a mixer that was usually used for like paint and other things, but they started making a food. Anyway, it would have been yeah.
It honestly looked like something you would see in a science lab on CSI.
100%.
It was
like, yeah, in a forensics lab. Yeah.
It was so wild.
It turned gummy bears, just so everyone knows, it turned gummy bears into pure liquid in like a minute by just shaking it. Like centripetal mode. Anyway, it was fascinating.
I have that video still, and I'm getting much better at editing. I think I could actually plug that into this video.
Oh, that'd be great.
I'll post a link to the show notes or something. I don't know. But
everybody's probably like, what is he talking about? But
there's like 17 people watching on YouTube now. So we're
getting there.
It's growing. It's growing. Up
You're
from like
there.
6. I'm glad you had a good time at the show. I know you came out with a ton of like energy, enthusiasm for learning around not just supply chain, but behind like food innovation. And I'm on a bit of a food innovation journey myself right now.
Oh, tell me more.
I don't know if it's innovation or just because I'm old and I need to catch up to the times, but I'm on a matcha journey.
Oh, yeah. I've heard about this.
I've been drinking matcha everywhere I go. I walk up to a barista, up to the order taker, whatever, cashier, and I'm like, they're like, what can I get for you, sir? And I say, I'd like a matcha. And they say, what kind of matcha? And I just say, I don't know. I'm new to matcha, so surprise me. And it's at times been delightful and at times completely disgusting. So I don't know where or how I feel about matcha at this point, but it's growing on me. I can say that.
Yeah, I've been on a similar journey, and it just seems like it's becoming more of a platform, right, for what's coming. And it's interesting because cold brew kind of hit that point for a while, and I feel like cold brew's kind of had a dip. Do you feel that way?
I think cold brew has become it's just coffee. I don't think there's any like there's no differentiation anymore in cold brew. The two people that do listen that are big time coffee nerds that love me, that love you, that are going to want to listen just to support us are going to get real mad when I say this, but like it's a platform. It's a platform for cold foam. It's a platform for flavor. It is just another coffee. And I think you had drip coffee. We iced coffee for a while. We thought that was cool. Iced coffee, like you just take hot coffee and cool it down. And then someone's like, what if we just started making coffee cold to begin with? Like,
right.
Turned out it made it taste good. And so I think it's just another platform for people to capture the number one drug in the world, caffeine, and to get a flavor profile that they really enjoy.
I did have one in Chicago that was really good from Intelligentsia. Now, took them like 6 steps to make it. Like they they made it, then they like sprayed like aroma on it, and then they sprinkled some like special orange sugar on top, and it was great. But it really tasted like a milkshake to me. Which, if you think about it, like that's what lattes are these days, though. So again, it's a platform. I don't know who's going in there, and I apologize for anybody listening and buying just matcha by itself and drinking that, because I do that with espresso, but matcha is like just a different animal.
I think it's the same animal in a different jungle, or maybe It's the same jungle and it's a different animal, because essentially the only ones that I've enjoyed so far are the ones that are milks with flavor with a little bit of green
Right.
matcha poured in, right? And so straight up, I can't drink it. But I also used to be a person who straight up would gag on an espresso shot. So, but my palate has evolved, right? And I can drink espresso shot, and I can
Right.
taste the difference, and I can appreciate the mouthfeel. I believe matcha will be. I mean, my coffee journey started at Starbucks with like a skinny vanilla latte, extra
I think
sugar.
we all have.
Like
Yeah.
we all started there, right? Because I think the only people who come out of the womb like drinking black coffee are like the farmers' kids, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
But
like,
but like from a strategy perspective though, I feel like as you and I both know, that's what sells is the sweet
Yeah.
drink.
Yeah.
And so, we've been looking at different matchas, and like a lot of people have brought the sweetened matcha to the table. And in my mind, I'm like, number one, I can't sell a matcha just plain. Number two, I can't build a drink on it, even though he's trying to tell me, but everybody wants it sweet, So like, and he's not wrong.
I think the thing they might be wrong about is they don't want the matcha sweet, they want the drink sweet. And if you're looking at matcha as a platform, it's not about the matcha being sweet. Because espresso, we don't sweeten espresso before we put it into a latte.
Right.
It has
no, but
it
I
has,
mean like the finished product.
but like it has bitter tones to it. It has acidity.
Yes.
Matcha has, an earthiness to it. It has a lower level of acidity, so it has a different mouthfeel and a different presence. But when you put it into flavored milk and shake it up, it tastes delicious. I had one at a coffee shop that was basically a vanilla matcha latte with like a caramel drizzle around the cup. So it was on the sweeter side, but that's how I like my drinks, and it tasted great. And
I mean,
the only difference in that was they took the matcha and poured it over the top instead of the espresso.
Yeah, it's literally this. From an ops perspective, you're basically making the same drink with a green liquid instead of a brown liquid.
But there are people who still want to drink the matcha straight up. So it has to taste good. It has to be the right quality, the right kind. And that's where I think we're struggling to find a happy medium.
Yeah. But I do think my favorite matcha drinks that I've had have been a balance of sweetness, but still being able to taste the matcha, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
And the same goes for coffee for me. Like I want a balance in our drinks at Jeff's. Yeah. It's not just like straight up just pure sugar.
That's the best feedback
most people look for. Yeah.
Well, the best feedback that we get from the guests at Jeff's who love Jeff's Bagel Run coffee drinks are the ones who are like, wow, I like it. It's good. It's not too sweet. It tastes like coffee.
Right.
Because there's like coffee has its own taste, right? I mean, you can go and you can do a wild single origin pour over and get berry or coconut or chocolate. You can get all these notes from that drink, but ultimately when you drink a cup of coffee, people expect it to taste like coffee. Because coffee has its own taste. It has its own flavor. It has its own,
Which, by the way, pairs very well with other flavors. Hence why lattes are so popular.
Right. Yes. 100%. Matcha, I think, has similar properties. We just have to find the pairings correctly because it is a little earthier than coffee. So, we'll get there. I have no doubt between, you, me, Jack, and whoever else is willing to drink the green stuff.
I will say we did a blind taste test the other day of like 4 different matchas. I could not tell the difference. Maybe a little bit on like, denser mouth, like denser in your mouth. But like, aside from that, it all tasted the same to me. I also don't have the palate for it yet. So I'm working on it. Just like you are.
It takes time. It takes time.
Yeah.
The craziest experience I had was when I was in the coffee shop last week and I ordered my matcha drink. And then I was like, is this your most popular? And she said, no, most people order them more traditionally. You should get it this way. And I was like, she's like, but I don't know if you'll like that. I'm like, well, give me both of them. So I got them both. And she was right. I didn't like the second one. It was hard to drink.
She knew what she was talking about.
It was hard to drink. Yeah. She knew who she was selling matcha to. But, I walked away with a very cute little drink with a little bit of green coming down and tasted good. So
I feel like there's a matcha LTO on about 90% of coffee shops I've been to and like looked
Agreed.
for a matcha drink. Like it's there. It's the new platform for a drink like cold brew used to be and like espresso was 20, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I really don't think it's going anywhere.
Definitely not. I walked into 7 shops over the course of the last 2 weeks asking for matcha, and every single one of them had a matcha something that was LTO, was a matcha cereal milk, a matcha with a
Yep.
strawberry puree, a matcha lemonade. I had a what did I have that I thought was kind of good? I think it might have been the matcha strawberry, like with lemonade. That was good. So it was like a strawberry lemonade matcha. I don't know.
Well, I'll be honest, when I worked at a coffee shop 4 or 5 years ago, if you would have asked me the same question, I would have said matcha is very niche and it's not going to be around forever. And I think I will admit I was very wrong on that hypothesis.
Yeah, matcha's not going anywhere. I think there's a lot of room for it in the beverage program at Jeff's, and we're going to get it right, and we'll get it launched eventually.
Someday.
I don't know. I've heard a lot of rumors of it happening this year, so we'll see. Not a lot of year left.
It's getting late.
It's
Second
getting-
half.
Can you believe it's already July?
No.
I
It's
mean,
going so quick.
where did the year go?
I actually had a moment the other day when I was thinking about like sourcing some coffee, and I remember thinking like, oh, we usually get this crop in like February, and that was like a few months ago, and I was like, that was like 5 months ago. Like, oh man, it goes quick.
It does. We just we finalized all the LTOs for the rest of the year. I sat with marketing yesterday, and we had like a long conversation about Q1, and I think January is like first of the year, kind of New Year LTO is locked in. We have a very, very strong outline for February already for Valentine's. This is the first year ever that Super Bowl Sunday is Valentine's Day.
Whoa, there's going to be a lot of fights in some households over that.
And it's fun, and I think there's a great marketing ploy in there, so I'm looking forward to it.
I guess that's because the football season did push it a week because of the extra week, so it was bound to happen eventually, huh?
Well, I mean, football season, really, if you think about it, football season starts like next week.
No, but I'm saying they pushed it a week because they added an extra game.
No, for
So
sure.
I never even knew that was gonna.
Yeah.
I never knew that was even a possibility.
Yeah. So the Super Bowl pushed later into February because of the
Yeah.
extra week in the season, and then, but I think the football. I guess my point is that the football season in general is getting longer.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna start. I mean, fantasy football leagues are gonna start kicking up in like a week. Drafts are gonna start happening by September. I mean, end of August actually. It's pretty wild. Football season is here.
I don't know about you, but I'm on a World Cup hangover, so I am ready for the next sport to start.
Yeah, I was gonna say something about we went from football, now we're going back to real football, but I actually enjoyed the World Cup. I enjoyed the World Cup too much. I had so much fun watching the games, and like
I had a great
think
time.
the World Cup to me felt a lot like when the Olympics come around and everyone focuses for a couple of weeks on sports that they have zero knowledge about, zero interest in seeking out, but become deeply invested in the stories and the people and the journey that the athletes have been on to get to where they are. And so how can you not root for like a Cape Verde and see
it's crazy.
the success that a small country and a team can pull together? Or, you've got players who are ending their career with this could be, their last World Cup, who have been household names for decades. And then you have this like upstart. I don't know. I think there's just great story in the World Cup. A lot of the games were good. I still think that every single soccer player should be auditioning for theater. They're just outstanding.
They really should.
Outstanding actors. I've never seen anyone recover from catastrophic knee injury faster than a soccer player. It's wild.
It is wild, and there's something about soccer that's just so powerful for the star because I'll tell you, my daughter, who does not like sports, she's 5, so like she's early still, but my son is 7. He's all of a sudden obsessed with soccer. He was talking about Ronaldo. He wants to watch that game. He was playing FIFA the other day, and my daughter walked in, and she goes, "Oh, let me guess, are you Ronaldo?" And I was just like, think about the power of that, man. Like, why? And I feel like it doesn't happen as much with the NFL or with the NBA, maybe a little bit more so, but I don't know. There's just something special there with soccer that it seems to stand out, especially for kids. I don't know if you see the same thing.
100%. My kids are right around the same age as yours and are completely compelled with soccer. I think I even bought a Norway jersey, and it's not even here yet
Holland.
because of Erling Haaland. I mean, last summer when they hosted some of the FIFA Club World Cup games here in Orlando, Lucas wanted to go to the Manchester City versus Juventus game because Erling Haaland was playing, and he was like a huge Haaland fan from playing FIFA on the video game. And so we went to that game last summer, and that was super cool. I got to see him score a goal, play in the game. It was fun. Like, it was exciting. And to me, soccer is like, it's foreign to us in America because we don't have a great, there's just not a great American infrastructure around soccer. We have
Right.
some leagues, but like, my kids want to play and they play I-9, super rec, like nothing crazy because it's about the money. I feel like
Yeah.
in some of these other places, soccer is just the most accessible sport. It takes nothing more than a ball and an empty field. And a lot of times that empty field doesn't even have to be a field. It's a gravel pit. It's an open space between two houses. It doesn't have to be anything greater than that. Where, you go to play football, it's like helmet, pads, 12 guys, whatever. Like, it feels like it's a lot harder buried entry.
I think so. I think we also just treat sports here differently. I was reading an article about Norway and about how they just celebrate play. Like that's their end game. You're playing soccer, that means you're winning as a kid. And I think we just got to figure out how we treat youth sports, because I want no part in any travel for my children because I've seen the craziness and the money, and like, we just got to celebrate play.
I love that. Absolutely. I have a group chat with some friends from high school, and a couple of weeks ago, the chat came through. They were like, "Hey," it said like, "Hey, Coop, my daughter's about to get to the age where she's doing competitive cheer. How much should I look to budget for next year?" Do you know what he sent? Laughing emojis. Laughing emojis. That was it. Just laughing emojis. We're old, so we still send laughing emojis. But
Not
like,
even a number.
Not even a number. And he's like, haha, funny. Come on, bro. He's like, second mortgage. Like, he's like, get ready. Because these things, some of the travel, the competitive nature, it gets very expensive. It's uniforms, it's hotels, it's tournament entries, it's all the stuff. And
it's crazy.
I know. We just signed up for soccer for the fall or whatever, late summer, whatever this season is. So get on it. Get signed up.
That's right.
Lucas and Carson. Lucas and Carson
wants to play
again.
in some. They do. Carson's on to baseball now. I don't know how that's going to go, but we'll see.
Oh, is he?
From hockey to soccer.
You get out there, you're pitching to the kids here in the neighborhood. You're like the designated pitcher.
Oh, yeah. I am.
Yeah.
I love backyard sports. Used to be my thing. When I was a kid, that's all I wanted to do. 24/7. Hockey, football. And I still love doing it today.
That's awesome. Oh, what else is on your mind? What's got you excited?
I think you asked me a question last time. You said, Glenn, what are you most excited about? And I was most excited about in coffee specifically was just a good baseline of drinks, right? Like a good latte or a great cappuccino. And I think I want to take that a step further as I thought about it. I think I'm really excited for efficiency in coffee. Really from like an operation standpoint. If you read some articles about Australia and some of these high volume shops, they're going through and pre-bottling espresso, pre-batching espresso. And we've kind of talked about this before, but Australia holds coffee like on a pedestal. They're like one of the they take it as an art, a religion down there. And to hear that they're doing that and getting great results, like bottling espresso for iced lattes, just gets me excited about like specialty coffee doesn't have to just be like 15-minute wait time, pour overs. Like it could be pre-bottled espresso. And that is exciting to me.
I love that you're still so passionate about coffee. I love it.
I'm passionate about not elitist, standoffish. I'm better than you coffee. And I always have been that way. I've never been,
That's always been Otis's mantra.
100%.
It was never
100%.
written down anywhere, but that was always the vibe. I feel like I see that shift happening. I mean, the coffee shops I visited over the course of the last couple of weeks had less of that like exclusive vibe. Like you could go in there and be some guy who's never had matcha or doesn't understand what matcha is, and just there was no eye rolling, there was no mustache curl, ha ha ha, let me explain to you. It just became, it was like, oh, you should try this, you might like it. If you don't like it, let me know, right? Like it felt much more open to to go in there and be a part of it. So I think that's, every business, regardless of size, regardless of category, has to adapt to what the consumer wants, right? And so there was a period of time where the consumer wanted exclusivity and wanted something that was not, a gas station coffee, not a Starbucks coffee, not fast coffee. And so everybody slowed it way down. And I think that tide is turning to some degree in some places, and the demo is getting younger of coffee drinkers. And I think that it's, it's good. I think it's good because I think the more that the accessibility there is to coffee and the more people feel comfortable, the better it is for the entire category. Like, and it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter where you play in that. If you're a high-end coffee shop or a drive-through coffee shop. So.
Right. Yeah, I think I've been diving in, as you know, on some of the other espresso machine providers just to see what else is out there. Because, we love Eversys and everything they do. And one of the pitches that a manual coffee machine, one where you're actually grinding and tamping and everything, they pitch like, but the customer doesn't want to drink coffee from an automatic machine. They want to see like the tamping happening. And in my mind, I'm just like, I think you're wrong. Like, I don't think that's really what anyone's looking for.
Nobody wants to see that.
No. Like maybe I would if I'm like, but I'm like, I know the industry, I understand it. But if I think about anybody that I know who's not in coffee, nobody's looking for that. But like, I just don't think that is something that is going to make or break our, like, for example, our coffee program. And it hasn't.
No, it hasn't. I think there are people who are super into it. You would be a person who, you go to a new coffee shop, you're going to like do this and look around the corner to see like what the espresso machine is, to watch the barista's technique, because you're deeply invested in it, right? I think about our friend Connor. He's going to be doing the same thing, looking around the corner. He wants to see the craftsmanship.
Right.
Most of the people walking in, though, are 17 to 36 years old, talking with their friends on the phone, and they're just listening for their name, and they grab the cup and go.
Yeah, it tastes good. It doesn't matter how it was made.
I don't care how you got there. It just tastes good. Yeah.
And furthermore, if I, like, this happened in when I was in Chicago, I was at a friend's out in the suburbs. They had one coffee shop in town. And I walked in, didn't love the setup I saw. Did I still buy a coffee? Of course I did.
Absolutely.
So, like, I don't know. I just think I don't believe it's a valid point in my experience.
I don't think there's a correlation to this, but this should be an app. We should build this, actually. I might be able to work with Claude Code, and maybe I could build this. I want people to like upload pictures of like sexy espresso machines. And you know what I'm talking about, the kind that are like ornate. I've seen some really, really attractive, very expensive looking, sexy espresso machines.
Yep.
And the coffee that comes out of them often is not nearly as good as I want it to be.
Listen, garbage in, garbage out, right?
How fun would that be, though? Like take a picture of the espresso machine, like rate the espresso machine on like a scale of 1 to 10, and then rate the espresso on a scale of 1 to 10.
I think it's actually brilliant.
That would be so much fun.
And it's unknown, so like
Yeah, it's all completely, and it's not to be like, it's not to be derogatory towards the shop. Or, no, it's just, it's like this machine was so pretty and delivered a drink that I thought was like a 4 versus, you know.
Yeah. I think it's brilliant.
I don't even want to know where the shop was. Actually, we could leave the shops out of it. We could just take pictures of machines.
Wow, there's some machines out there that if you go to that shop, you're gonna remember that picture.
This is true.
I saw a bright yellow espresso machine. I've seen dragons on espresso machines.
I saw this, one of the shops we were in Blue Ridge, Georgia last week, and we went to Mountain Mama's. It was very good coffee, cute little shop, really enjoyed it. And they had their La Marzocca was like orange.
Oh, yeah.
It was really cool, but it like fit the vibe. It like blended in the whole thing, and like
Sure.
But it was like, I was like, ooh. But that machine would have got like a, you know, I would have rated the machine a 7 because it was kind of just like a normal, nice color scheme, like great livery, but like not a.
Right.
It was fine. It was just a regular old fashioned, you know, La Marzocca, and but the coffee was like, you know, 8 out of 10. So
that's a win.
That's a win. Yeah, but that'd be fun.
Yeah.
Coffee machine to latte or machine to espresso. I don't know. There's got to be something there. See, if Aaron was on the pod, he'd already be writing the code.
He would. Big code guy.
Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you.
I appreciate you.
Second time, maybe third time's a charm. Who knows?
Listen, I'm rating everybody based on views and listens. So hopefully when the pod gets posted, you share it and you get more people to listen and tune in, and then, you know, you'll take Aaron's spot in the unpaid job of co-host of the Weekly Run.
Don't forget pickleball.
He's already lost his pickleball partner position, so that's done. That's over. I mean, you played in jeans and were exceptional.
Poor Aaron.
It's all those backyard sports you practice.
Exactly.
He won't even know that he has to defend himself because he won't listen. So. All
right, that's on him. That's on him.
That's it. All right, well, Bake Fresh, bring joy, build community. We'll see you next week.
Yo, fresh out the oven, ready to run. What's hot this week at Jeff's Bagel Run? Jeff and Aaron bring the fun. It's the Weekly Run, let's get it.